No, there's about 10 active or more fires. It just happens this time of year in Oregon. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's a big smoke bath.
Oh, geez. I'm sorry to hear that. All right. Who else we got on the call this morning? All right, Miss Elizabeth Araceli. Hello, good afternoon. All right, we'll give it about three more minutes for our call to begin. Get some more people joining here into the waiting room. Perfect. Hello, welcome, June. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Today's topic that we're going to be covering is ROA itself as a business. How does the rev share work? What's the business model look like? So I have our slide deck here that I'm going to share my screen here momentarily, and then we're going to just jump right into it. Mr. Alex Morales looks like he's on a plane right now. Yeah, I love it. Still traveling and still being present. Amazing. So let me go ahead and do this. All right, so here, one quick second. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Go. That should be it. Perfect. All right. Oh, that is not starting from the beginning. Stop screen share. All right. So let me get this thing working. All right. And now it should work. Here. Let's drive. Okay, that should be good to go. All right, can y'all see my screen okay where it says built? So can I see everybody's screen? Nope. All right, good, perfect. All right, team, let's go ahead and let's rock and roll. All right, thank you for joining today. So we are here at ROA because of these two individuals. If I can just get that to share. There we go. These two gentlemen right here, Eddie Garcia and Marc Demas. For those of you that don't know, Marc Demas was the #1 realtor on Wall Street Journals in 2023. His team sold over 3,200 homes and did $975 million worth of volume in 1 year. When it comes to mega ultra producers, this is about as big as it gets. He, as the broker owner, along with 15 realtors on his team and 40 staff members, did 3,200 transactions in 2023. So he comes on and does trainings for us. If your goal is ambition is to get to 3,200 transactions and build the ultra mega team, Marc Demas is going to be the one who's going to teach us how to get there. His partner, Mr. Eddie Garcia, immigrated to the US at the age of 5 from Mexico, built one of the largest brokerages in the state of Illinois. He had over 600 agents all join his brokerage through a traditional model, never paying for leads, all through organic community outreach and through social media. And what I would like to do is share this with y'all to have. So I'm going to drop this slide deck into our group chat. So that way you can have this, learn about these individuals, and also all the key players that are behind ROA that has allowed us to get to 2,200 agents over the last 8 months. And we go here. So fun fact, 71% of realtors did not sell a house in 2024. And team, let's go ahead and drop it into the chat. I mean, I know that some of us are new to real estate, but if you did sell a house in 2024, go ahead, raise your hand. And if you didn't and you're brand new, that's okay. because everybody started with zero. These two guys that have sold $6 billion worth of real estate in their careers all started from zero. Perfect. Thank you, Gabby. Okay, if you hear somebody say that ROA itself is, multi-level marketing or rev share companies are a pyramid scheme, well, you can show them, well, traditionally, all real estate brokerages are running in the same fashion, because what most people don't know is there's the international company, let's just, Keller Williams International, and that's a franchise. Same thing with the Coldwell Banker West. They have their big corporate office, and then there's owners that own the territories and regions. Then you have people that own the individual franchises, office managers, then agents. So you wonder where your commission checks go. Every time you get a commission check, you pay your broker fee. This is where your broker fee is going in a traditional model. It's going to 5 different people before you even see your cut. Why are we different? We have our own company, ROA, and you, the agent / owner. You are all owners in your own individual companies. You're not working for a different, office manager in a territory owned by a region, owned by an international company. No, you're directly, so all your money goes directly to you and to ROA. There's no more middlemen. Okay. Really the goal of ROA, we are content producers, and not content producers, right? Because we are creating transactions. We are in our communities. This is how we will go ahead and capture market share, by being ingrained in our community. You can go ahead and purchase leads traditionally through Zillow. I've been on Zillow Flex. I paid Realtor.com a crazy amount of money and got into a lawsuit with them because they sold me fake leads, where I had to get the attorney general involved. So when it comes to knowing how to go and source your own leads, I've been there, done that myself. So, and what I found is creating your own organic leads will give you the most amount of opportunity to make the most amount of money. When I was on Zillow Flex, I was making 28 cents on the dollar. So $10,000 commission check for the sale of a house, Zillow takes their 35%, the office takes their cut, and then I then eventually got my portion, which came out to 28 cents on the dollar. So I got 2,800 bucks out of that 10,000. And from there, I had to run my business cost, all my gas, my time, my MLS dues. So really, I was making at most like $2,000 per house that I sold. It was not too lucrative, but it was a great way for me at the time, when in 2020, 2021, where everybody was trying to buy. It did give me a lot of volume and a lot of repetition. So for that, I am thankful for, because it's allowed me to then shift from that and be able to have high level conversations directly with my own, sphere of influence. So are you building your business on a platform? It doesn't matter which platform you choose today. You choose Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook. Stick to one and go all in with that. Corner that market. We have agents here at ROA. All they do is use social media, and they're closing between 30 to 50 deals. Now, last week, Robert Cedeno, he and his team have done already 122 units this year in the last 6 months, just from social media. There were only 6 people on that call. And if you're one of those 6, I commend you, but I don't think anybody here from this call was on that call. So that's invaluable. Like, they are absolutely cranking it. All of them social media organic leads. They're not paying for them. These are coming in from the content that they're producing. So if you haven't yet, follow Robert Cedeno, the New Build Kings. That will give you some insight as to what it is that they're pumping out on a daily basis. Okay, let's go ahead and really let's get into the rev share. Oh, first I want to highlight this. Women of ROA. Claudia Zaker, one of our founding partners, has launched the Women of ROA. It's your own independent networking, as well as a referral base. And also, like, these ladies, they just went out to Costa Rica earlier this year. They went on their Women of ROA retreat. And these are all high producing women in the real estate industry, absolute powerhouses. I wish I could go, but unfortunately, I can't. So grow your earnings. By show of hands, Does anybody unclear on how the compensation model works at Realty of America? Go ahead and raise your hand. If yes, if not, then I will briefly run over it. Okay, so 8515, unless if you're a brand new agent, and what constitute as a brand new agent is somebody that just got licensed or somebody that has not sold 3 real estate transactions in the last 12 months. If you fall under that category, you're going to be on a 60-40 split for your first 3 transactions. After your first 3 transactions, you've met that 60-40, you get moved on to an 85-15. And that's only a one-time thing. So it's not every single 3 years or every single year you're going to recycle over. You have on a 14K cap, unless if you're a team member on, you know, a larger team like the SRG group, the Gabe Mendez group, our team that we have here in San Diego, then you have the ability to go onto a half cap at 7,000. Beauty is we have no monthly fees, $199 onboarding fee. Other companies will charge agents monthly for their tech fees. We don't charge agents tech fees until they close their first 3 transactions. From the first 3 transactions, they're going to pay $250 out of each transaction to make up for that $750. Then we have a $50 risk management fee per transaction. So that's our E&O fee. And if you want to buy or sell a home under your own name, there is an $850 personal transaction fee. The 15% doesn't apply. It's just $850 plus a risk management fee. So really you're looking at $900 paid to ROA. That's going to be for your own personal deals. I know agents that take advantage of this every single year. They buy a piece of real estate or they sell and they save a ton on commissions. Once you hit your cap, you have just a transaction fee of $250 per transaction up to the first 20 transactions post cap. Most agents in the state of California will cap within 3 to 5 deals. So you do 3 to 5. So deals that you've closed in that year, 5 to 25, that's going to be $250. If you close more than 20 after your cap, that drops to $125. And then if you sell more than 40, which you'll be an absolute baller if you do, your cap fee drops to $75 post cap fee. Okay, all clear. Then let's talk about growing your network. Part of the reason why people are joining Realty of America is because we are designed to give 60% of all the commission that ROA collects to be paid back to our realtors. So if every agent that you directly sponsor, if they are a capper, you get 25% of the commission they pay to ROA, equating a maximum of $3,500 per year. Because once an agent caps, they no longer pay company dollar toward their cap. They have their post-cap fee, but there's no rev share on the post-cap fee. The rev share you're collecting from is from their $14,000 cap. And if you attract a half capper, you attract somebody, they go on somebody else's team and they're on a 7K cap, well, then you get half of that, which would be $1,750. And if the agent that you sponsor brings on somebody, you automatically get 10% of that until you hit 3 agents in your front line, 6 agents, 9 agents, and 23. So they incentivize you for bringing on more agents. But in your level 2, the maximum that you can earn off your level 2 is $2,100 per capper if you're on a 14K cap. Level 3 agents, the maximum is $1,400 if on a 14K, so on and so forth. $700 for level 4, $700 for level 5. What makes us different than any real estate company is our infinity model. Our infinity model is you can have somebody in your network be 25 levels down from you, and you will still earn rev share from them as long as you have your infinity level unlocked. To get to infinity, you need to have 23 agents that you directly sponsor to Realty of America. People that name you their sponsor, you need to have 23 of them. That will open up this $70 per capper. And this is where you can make some lucrative money by being in with a company on day one. If you stick with Realty of America, 10 years from now, you very well can have a 2,000 person downline, and you have $70 coming from every single capper that's in there, that's in your infinity. Now, to remain a qualified agent in our network, requires a minimum production of $3,000 in GCI over the last 6 months. Now, that doesn't mean $3,000 of cap paid to ROA. That just means that I sold a house. My gross commission was $3,000. ROA will take their 15% of $3,000, which is $450. That goes into the rev share pool. ROA then gives me back the difference, right? Because that's my commission, subtracting, right, E&O fees, broke technology fees, and all that. So to stay an active qualified person is $3,000 in company dollar going to ROA. Sorry, not company, in gross commission going to ROA. And then you get the remainder back. And we've had agents that have downlines, but they haven't sold the house in the last 6 months, and they did not get the rev share for the month of May. Super important, because the goal of the company is to be built by realtors for realtors, not mega attractors, mega producers that just go and attract realtors. All they do is collect a check and you never hear from them again. That's why several key players are coming to ROA and leaving other companies. All right. It only takes really 4 agents. If you bring on 4 cappers at $3,500, you essentially run a free real estate business. That's $14,000 paid back to you in rev share by bringing on 4 cappers. You bring on 5, guess what? That's $17,500 that's coming to you. So essentially you're getting paid to be at the brokerage. And I'm sure that everybody on here knows 5 realtors. We're in the business of knowing people. So I'd love to see each and every one of you bring in, $17,000 to $20,000 per year. I mean, that's extra car payments, that's student loans that could fund your kids' college per year. So right now you're building a retirement plan and also an additional stream of revenue, because us as realtors, we're always going to be selling houses. There's people that are 85 years old that still sell 2 to 3 houses a year because it's not a demanding job. Now, it is demanding if you want to sell 20 to 30 homes in a year, absolutely. But just having your real estate license, you can fall into selling 1 to 2 per year, plus your rev share. So you can potentially be making an additional $40,000 to $50,000 in retirement on top of all the other investments that you do over your career. All right, y'all following me here so far? Perfect. Okay, equity. This is a huge question that we get asked a lot. How do I know how many stocks I'm getting awarded? When will I have access to that stock? And what will I be able to sell that stock for? And how do I earn money? Or how do I earn additional stocks? Because right now we are not a publicly traded company, so nobody can go out and just purchase stocks. You can't just call up your broker, Charles Schwab, and say, hey, I want to buy, 1,000 shares of ROA stock. The only way to earn stock today is to be a realtor, attract agents to Realty of America. And when they close their first real estate transaction, you get awarded 400 shares right now based off of the agent count that we have in the company. As our company grows, the amount of stocks that they're awarding is going to be reduced because there's only a certain number of stocks that are available. So right now, take advantage of it. If I were y'all, I would be trying to attract 1 to 2 realtors per month. So that way within 12 to 24 months, I could have my infinity level unlocked. Of those 12 to 24, half of them will close a transaction. That's 12. So I potentially could earn 4,800 shares within my first 2 years. And that's something that y'all should be taking advantage of. Once you personally close your first deal, ROA is going to give you 30 shares. Once you hit your cap, ROA is going to give you 500 shares. And if you do $200,000 in volume GCI within 12 months, they will give you 1,000 shares. Now, if you bring on half cappers at the 7,000, just know that all the shares are then cut in half. And right now you can't sell the shares, you can't trade them because they're still restricted. And once in order for them to be awarded shares, you have to have been with the company for 3 years from receiving that share. So if I receive shares today, we go public in 3 years from now, great. I'll be able to sell those shares once they go public. But if we're already a publicly traded company, you'll still have shares that are listed at RSUs. Okay. So this is where we are for our current tech stack. Brokerage engine, this is a transaction manager for on the finance side, not for compliance, but on the finance side. This is more for larger teams, commission splits. If you have team members, this is where you can go and designate. Close. This is our CRM. This is what remember when we talked about the technology fee of $750 per year? This is what you're paying for. This is what allows you to be able to conduct business compliance wise, and also how to go ahead and grow your business. So that's your CRM. We have a partnership with Microsoft 365. The 750 doesn't include the Microsoft 365, but if you wish to have Microsoft, it's an additional $199, I believe. You'll be able to go on to your platform, into your Okta, which Okta is your centralized housing platform that holds all of these different tools. So you log on to Okta, then you can go on and log on to your CRM, your Real Scout, which Real Scout is essentially your marketing arm. This is where you go and drip on your clients, and you can then brand yourself, do your email drip campaigns and other things that come along with Real Scout. We do trainings every Wednesday. There's trainings on these different platforms. Please take advantage of them. If you haven't used these, then please go on to these different training ones. If you use your own CRMs and you use outside third-party services, okay, that's totally fine, but these are still available to you. As agents, SkySlope is going to be arguably the most important one for us as realtors. Reason being is this is where all of our transactions and our disclosures get uploaded. Super important to upload all your disclosures, your contracts, your BRBCs, your RPAs, RLAs from day one. I can't tell you how many calls that I get from realtors that say, hey, Marc, my transaction closed yesterday. I still haven't gotten a CDA, or I still haven't gotten paid on my file. Well, it's like, well, did you upload all of the forms necessary to, for the file into SkySlope? No. Okay, well, we got to upload all the files into there. Broker has to review, check it compliant, because brokerages, doesn't matter what brokerage you're at, they will not release a check until the broker marks the file compliant. That's how lawsuits happen. Super important to get everything uploaded. You want to have everything uploaded a week before closing. Because brokers don't, they don't go check every single day. So if I call my brokers, hey, I just uploaded everything, can you go ahead and mark it compliant real quick? They're not going to be able to run through 70 pages worth of documents. It takes sometimes 48 to 72 hours for a broker to really audit the file. So if you want to get paid on time, super important, upload on time. Okay, this is currently where we are operating in. So realtors, if you have connections in any one of these states in blue, they're ready for onboarding. States in green, these are our coming soons. Now, in order to be a state leader and to open up one of these states that are in gray, if you want to take the initiative because you have somebody that works out of Wyoming, the production requirement to be able to open up a state, as of when I was just talking to Max Aker, our COO, is we need to have a minimum $50 million in volume and a certain number of agents to be able to open up the state. They're not going to just open up the state because one person, wants to go ahead and start with ROA. No, because they have to hire brokers. They have to hire compliance. They have to put a lot of staff and resources. So we need to be able to sustain that level of growth and also do it right. So there's other companies that opened up all 50 states right away with the hopes of them being able to attract agents, and they're bleeding money. They're borrowing money from VCs. They're just spending a bunch of money opening up states that aren't producing. No, if we want to be able to maximize the dollar amount that our stock is worth 3 years from now, we need to really grow strategically. There's a reason why In-N-Out does not open up in every single state. They've opened up in certain states, and I don't know if you just saw the article or not about them, where they're moving their corporate headquarters to Tennessee. They said that just because we're in Tennessee and on the East Coast doesn't mean we're going to expand on the East Coast, open up every single state right away. No, we're going to identify certain areas and play the slow game. So that way our product doesn't get jeopardized. And that's what we're looking to do as well. Okay. So I know I just threw a lot at you. I'm more than happy to take any questions, go a little bit deeper on certain topics. Please, the floor is yours. All right. That's it. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for being on the call today. Go ahead and get something exciting for y'all next week. All right, everybody. Take care.